Welcome to another exciting episode of the $1 Million Peddlers. I'm Paperboy.
I'm Mr. Magazine.
I'm going to ask you if you're familiar with something, Mr. Magazine.
Okay.
And if you're not, don't feel bad. Have you ever heard of the expression imposter syndrome?
No.
All right. So you don't know if you suffer from it or not.
Correct.
Imposter syndrome basically is when you are in a position and you're afraid that you don't belong in that position. You feel that everybody's holding you up as an expert or everybody's looking towards you, and you're like, I don't really know that much. Why is everybody looking at me to make the decisions on this? Why does everybody treat me like an expert at this? Why? And it's almost, I'm not going to necessarily say it's a lack of confidence, because I don't think it's necessarily a lack of confidence. I think it's more the other step that you know how much you don't know.
Yeah.
And so we were all, 19-year-old kids. And when we were 19, we knew everything. Just when you're 19, you know everything.
Sure.
Nobody knows anything. You're the smartest person in the world. And then as you start going on and you start learning more and more stuff, suddenly what your realization is, I'm sure I'm sure Stephen Hawking, when he was around, was amazed at how much he didn't know, as opposed to how much he knew.
Right.
Because he knew a lot, but everything that he knew had further questions that he didn't have answers to.
Deep stuff.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's kind of how it is, too, with as you grow up and as you get into something or other. I know a fair amount about comics, but there's more I don't know about comics than I know about comics.
Oh, yeah.
And I realize that
the stuff
now.
I want to know is all the new stuff from 10 years where I wasn't collecting, all the variants, the 1 of 25s and that type of stuff. And I wouldn't know if they hit me in the face. It'll say variant, but you could have a $5 variant or a $1,500 variant. And I just don't know that stuff.
Right. But you at least know that you don't know that.
Right.
And the reason I bring it up, so now that I've kind of explained what it is, do you suffer from it? And if so, when?
Oh, there's got to be some. I mean, I'm not a genius by any means.
I concur.
I mean, if we're sitting around talking about, English or social studies or history, there's lots of things I don't know or remember. In school, I didn't love those classes. I did okay in it, but math I'm pretty good with. Obviously, my business, anything pertaining to my business. But another aspect I always call upon you for is legal stuff that I don't know about my business, or things OSHA could fine me for this or that. Things I never knew existed or people cared. It would even fine you $10,000 for something. It's so minimal to me. So I would say the legalities of running the business. The rare occasions of getting sued or something about little things like obscure stuff like that. I certainly
Labor
don't know.
law.
Yeah, exactly, that type of stuff. And thank God for you along the years, because we've been legitimate with payroll for 15, 20 years now since we had employees, and I wouldn't know the first thing about it unless you helped me and showed me the way. So I do thank you for that. And
of course.
even now I still bug you with insurance. Insurance is another thing I don't know a lot about. There you go. Yeah.
See, and I suffer from imposter syndrome when it comes to buying and selling stuff, because I know that, because I deal in ephemera and I deal in books and magazines, and those are gigantic categories, and it's impossible to know everything about ephemera. Sure. It's impossible to know every book. You just can't do it.
Yeah, right.
And I know there have been times when I've been out at sales auctions back in the day when you had public auctions.
Yeah.
And there were people, and I'm watching them bid, and I'm watching them buy stuff, and in my head I'm like, well, I would go $40 on it, and they're buying it at $75, and they're buying lot after lot, and I'm saying, I don't know what I'm doing.
Is this before phone times? Because obviously now, if you're quick enough, you got something up, it's 150.
Yeah, it was before
I'll go
phone
80.
time, yeah.
I'll go 80 because I know it's 150, and we may not know that unless you look it up.
Yeah, no, this was before phone time, yeah. But again, I would sit there and I'd be going, wow, what do these people know that I don't know?
Well, they've seen it before, though, probably. Just like when we bought that scuba gear. We didn't know. We took a chance on it, and we made a killing. Now, the next time scuba gear comes up, we know we're not let it go for $10, So someone older than you with more experience has been doing it longer certainly has an edge on that type of stuff if you've never seen it.
Or the alternate, and I want to be as politically correct as I can here. the person buying was an idiot.
Oh, well, that is true. Like that time I was outbidding this one guy because he kept outbidding me, and I ended up probably breaking even or losing a little bit in the long run. So just to prove a point and be cool.
And I was able to figure out this gentleman's eBay handle, and then I started looking at what he bought, and I'm saying, this guy's not making any money. He's a horrible businessman.
Yeah.
He's paying, $5 in this item and selling it for 10.
Yeah.
Where are you going, and why are you wasting your money and time on that?
Sure.
When I was at the auction, I saw the volume of stuff he bought, and I'm like, well, what are you doing?
Sure. Well, and there's always the buyer that is a collector, and you can't compete with that person because if something's up for $100 and they can buy it on eBay for 100 plus shipping and they can't see it or touch it, well, they'd rather pay 100 there. They know what they're getting, if there's any issues or cracks and whatever they're buying. So, they're going to pay retail because that's what they would buy it on eBay, where you're buying it for 50 to resell it. So
right.
You can't compete with collectors.
Well, and then the other thing, too, is a lot of people try to take advantage of you by hoping you have imposter syndrome. This only sells for $50.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing with this? This is, don't you know? They may not know what they're talking about.
Right, yeah.
They may not know
it's
either.
Psyching you out. They might be chuckling or laughing or something. They point the finger. Look at this guy.
Yeah, he's a sucker. He's going to fall for this.
Deep pockets.
So it is natural to feel that way. And there are a few other people that I've met throughout the years that talk a real good game, and they sound very, very knowledgeable about stuff. And I'm like, wow, these people know a lot more than me. Then I dug a little deeper and did a little bit of research. I'm like, wait a minute, they've been selling on eBay for 3 years.
Yeah.
They don't know anything more than me. Certainly do not know more than me as far as the ephemera categories go. Because I look in their store, I see this, I see that, and I'm like, no. Yeah. So it's perfectly natural to doubt yourself and to doubt your knowledge on it. And the more you learn about something or other, the more you learn that you don't know. And that's completely natural.
Another thing, too, is with you and people that go to these sales, estate sales, libraries, churches, so forth, you're at their mercy. You don't have a lot of opportunity, unless you want to look on your phone and maybe, it takes too long or this or that, or it's not on eBay where, I have the luxury in my shop. Someone comes in with something I've never seen before. Hold on, let me take a look and run comps. I can sit down for a few minutes and go on this site, that site, and let him wait 5 or 10 minutes. So, my platform is a little easy. I like what I'm doing. It's easier for me. People come to me, and I have that option of looking things up that I don't necessarily buy. If it's an accordion, if it's anything, but where you're on the spot where, hey, I don't know what this book's worth. I got to take a chance and hope it's worth $100. I want to pay $20-$30 where it could be worth $50 or $500,
Right. So.
Yeah,
and that's one reason, too, why I tend to stay just in the areas that I feel most comfortable at. Because, for example, I'm going to the market over in Columbus with 1,000 dealers.
Wow.
There could be some very, very good deals on Fiesta ware. I don't know the first thing about Fiesta ware, and I can't go to your table and search on every item that you have.
Right.
Then go to the next table and search on every item you have. And you very well may have a $500 piece of Fiesta ware there for $2.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody else is going to get that deal. Now, you may have a $500 comic book there for $2. I'm hoping that if I see it, I have enough knowledge to buy it. And so on. Whereas if that person came in with a box of stuff and had that Fiesta ware in there, you might, what the heck? He's got 25 items. Let me look this up. Holy jeez, that's a really rare pattern. That's really, really good. Right. And you may buy it just because of that, whereas I'm just going to walk by.
Yeah.
But you also have one person in your store trying to sell something to you. I have 1,000 people trying to sell something to me, potentially.
Right. Yeah.
So it's a little bit different as far as that goes.
Sure.
But do comment down below if you've ever felt doubts about what you know and compared to what other people know, and feel good that a lot of it, there are people out there that are very, very knowledgeable, and seek them out and sit at their feet and try to learn everything you possibly can from them. There are other people out there that aren't nearly as knowledgeable as they think, and if you can weed out those people and let them give their bluster and let them talk about how great they are and how much they know and these great deals that they get all the time and this and that, and you smile and you say, wow, that sounds awesome, and you walk on by and don't let them affect you because they don't know what they're talking about. So hopefully that helps you a little bit. Hit the like button if you could, and we will see you next video.
Take care. Bye-bye.